Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Something a little bit different, a little bit shorter due to the time of the year it is. Obviously I can't do the much bigger videos, but today what I thought I'd do is I'd go through, pick up my first ever DSLR again, my first setup, so the original lens I used to use as well, and take a few photos and show you what those results are. This is a video I've been sat on for a little bit of time, just didn't have the time to really edit it, so here we are now. So the camera I first started photography with was the Canon 20D. Very small, very basic but magnesium body camera. Really low megapixels, only 8 megapixels, but did fine. You'll see from the images I'm going to show you in a second. An absolutely usable camera still. And a Sigma 70-200 f2.8 non-IS lens. The one I've got on here for display purposes is the IS one, but I didn't have the IS one when I first started photography. So what I'm going to do first is go through some of the photos that I've taken with this to see what the quality is like this much later on compared to being used to using 1Ds and R3s. What is it like going back to the 20D? So we'll look at the imagery first and we'll go from there. Okay, so the first image we've got here is a portrait of an eagle here. First thing you notice is a bit of colour fringing all the way along the white, although especially main noticeable on the top of his head where it's super overexposed. This obviously could be adjusted a bit of editing, but the main thing to look at here is the sharpness. So this has got barely, I think it's got like 9 autofocus points. You are fairly limited on where you can pop your AF on there, but the eyes are nicely sharp where I'd want them to be. This is at 2.8, and say bit of editing to get rid of this overexposure on the top and the colour fringing. An absolutely usable photo, no problems at all. The next image here I thought I'd use because it's a bit of motion here, so you've got the bird coming in here, coming to catch the meat on some form of pot or something. Here, nicely frozen, nice sunny days, nice fast shutter speed, and it's able to capture this shot, no worries at all, and a very, again, nice usable image with a bit of the keeper there as well, just to sort of fill in a bit more of a story. The next one here was a bit of a difficult photo because we're shooting into the sun here a little bit, so the sharpness isn't the best, but what we got here is a couple of kites fighting over some food, and you've got the top one here coming in to catch it, and the one below trying to steal it. Now say, if you zoom in, it's not the sharpest of imagery. Zoomed out though, it definitely works, especially considering, as you say, shot into the sun a little bit here. We are actually doing quite well as an image, I think. And the final image here is a eagle coming into land. Now this was coming pretty fast. It's not the fastest of the cameras, but we still managed to get this nice shot here with it pretty much in focus. If you zoom in again, you're not going to get the most sharpest image at all, but zoomed out, everything's in the frame where it needs to be. Compared to the newer cameras, the colours aren't as nice as I'd get on my 1DX or R3. If I did the same photo, you'd see the background a little bit more green, a little bit more blue in the sky, but I still think, considering the age of this camera and what level the camera is and was marketed at, I think an absolutely fine and usable image. So those are the imagery there that I've got from this camera and this setup. And you can see it's not the most amazing imagery possible. It definitely could be sharper if I was using my 1D or my R3, but considering how old this kit is, the fact as well, especially the most impressive part in my mind, is the stuff that's actually in motion and how quickly it can lock on still, track that object and take that photo. Even though, say, this is not the best kit, it's a very old kit, but it still works absolutely amazingly, and it's actually really impressive and almost a little bit humbling going back to it. You don't have your back button focus or anything like that at all. You having to be a bit more manual about the camera, which does remind me of using the 1Ds. The main difference is how much lighter this is than what I'm currently using all the time, and that's actually sometimes really a nice thing. You have it on the sling, don't even know it's there. It is very front balanced because the lens glass is so much heavier than the camera body, When I originally had this, I did have a battery grip on there to try and counterbalance that when I was using it, but this example here does not have that. Reviewing the imagery as well with such a small screen on the back, obviously I've been using the original 1Ds and the 1DSs, so I've got used to using that smaller screen, but going back to it, trying to review your imagery on that is nigh and impossible. But you know, once I got the hang of it, after about an hour or so, getting used to the lower FPS as well, because you haven't got that many frames to rely on, about less than half on my 1DX, and less than a third of what I got on the R3 to hand. But once you get used to it, as you can see from some of those moving imagery, you can still get a very, very good photo of something in motion, which is really good. And it was just a bit of fun for the time of year to go out and use my first equipment, sort of remind myself what it was like back in the day with this sort of equipment, rather than now, where I am incredibly fortunate to have some of the nicest equipment that Canon has to offer. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below, what was your first camera and lens? Do you still have it? Do you still shoot with it? Or have you moved on to something different now? Let me know in the comments down below. Always like seeing that kind of thing. I hope you have a great Christmas, because this will be the last video before Christmas, and I will catch you just before New Year's, hopefully all going well, and I'll see you then. Cheers.